Okay. Alright. We are live. I think we're good.
Hello. Hello, Facebook family.
We're just figuring out the camera situation, everybody. Nobody move! Yeah, the greatest thing about this is this gets to be all homemade stuff.
This is how you know this shit ain't rehearsed.
I think it's good. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hi. We got cameras. We got cameras everywhere.
We have multiple devices going on, and that's what you're seeing here is us trying to set it up. And my sister accidentally pressed the go live button a little too soon, jiggling it around.
I love it, and that's why I love it, is because we are live. You know it's for real. There is no making up for any mistakes.
That's
at
right.
all. See, there's not going to be any editing in this.
This is the real shit.
Carter, my son just joined.
Hi,
Hey, Carter.
We miss
Hey,
you, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so let's get down to business.
Okay.
What prompted this interview was I've been wanting to do an interview with my sister live for some time. We had a discussion one night, and we recorded it, and it's on her YouTube channel, but we didn't go in depth with it, and I wanted her to talk about it more in depth because her answer was so profound that I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And that question is, are you ready?
Me or them?
Both.
I'm ready.
Audience, are you ready? Sis, are you ready?
I am. And by the way, guys, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're
You
fine.
know I love you.
Go ahead.
You guys, if we get some time, put in your questions, comments. We want to say hi to everyone. So, you know, if you give us a thumbs up or the love button or just something, whatever. It's nice feedback for us so that we know that you are actively participating. We're doing this as much for us as it is for you guys. So, so yeah. Oh God, I'm
Exactly.
seeing all these people pop up, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those over here, why we're looking over here is because there's another camera.
My phone's
us.
right here. Hello.
There's a camera over here on us as well. So
Then my sister's phone.
we're going
and
back
then the tablet.
Are you sure you don't want to set it here, and then we just like, you know, then we're kind of looking this way instead of both ways?
Well, let me
Right
just
here?
hold it right here. Okay.
No? Okay.
So, my question for my sister is,
Okay, and by the way, for the thank you, Josh. By the way, for those of you that don't know about me, just because she's gonna ask me, I channel and I'm a medium, and I work with the divine highest beings of light, 100% pure love and light only. And so she is asking questions to them. So I'm going to be in the channeling mode. These are coming from universal answers. And she asked me before we got started, hey, do you want to know what the questions are? I said, absolutely not. I don't want to know what the questions are. I want to see what they bring through. I never want to know what the questions are. I do a lot of sessions where I don't know what my clients want or anything like that, and so it's very interesting that they're able to obviously give the answers, because I don't want my own self-projections, my own filters to play through. I want it to be completely live, completely whole and natural, and have them bring the knowledge, their divine knowledge through me to answer whatever the questions are. So this is why we'd also love for you guys to type in any questions that you have as well, and we'll see if we can get to them. And because this is live, guys, we do have our children here, and you may hear Milani or Legend, you know, come and get us. So that's just part of what it is.
Yeah.
We all
So
got kids.
you'll have to excuse the interruptions.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So are you
Garrett?
ready?
Hi, Garrett. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I am ready.
So my question for my sister is, are we ready? Okay. Hold on. Let me get a good hold on my phone here. The question is, Sophie and spirits, can you please explain to our audience how the laws of attraction works?
Well, there's a lot of law of attraction, and we got Milani over here, so it's a little, for me, I'm used to channeling when it's completely quiet, so it's a little challenging. Do you want to get her while I'm talking a little bit?
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay. Laws of attraction actually have to do with abundance, and we're not just talking about prosperity, wealth, abundance through money. The laws of attraction also have to do with love, health. They also have to do with relationships and other things besides just our material wealth. And quite honestly, guys, we have a divine path that our soul contract already knows. Our higher selves, our souls already know the plan. There is already a map. Everything was already mapped out before we entered into our physical bodies and came into this material physical realm. And even though you and I, all of us, may not be aware of that, everything that we are doing and having has already been planned out. What we get to choose, what our free will is on the planet, is how we feel along our journey. Okay, that's what we get. But as far as controlling anything else, there's no control outside of us. It's already been planned, and so what we get is how we feel along the journey. Laws of attraction. Well, it's already a knowing. I mean, if it makes you feel better to call in your guides and call in your higher self, call in God, whatever you want to call it, Jesus, whoever you want to call it, and talk to them and get more confirmation and validation and what we call prayer or meditation, and let the divine come in and intervene. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, why not? We are here living in our human bodies, and we require tangible physical evidence because we live in a material physical realm. But everything has already been mapped out, and people will sometimes come and say, well, really interesting questions like, well, what about people that are murdered, that are raped, that are killed, car accidents? What about all that? Did they ask for it? And I will tell you, we have soul contracts that we come here to fulfill. And whether that is to learn about love, compassion, forgiveness, whatever it has already been planned. And each of us play a character in the lives of each other so that we have the experience to go through and choose to go ahead and have that love and forgiveness and compassion. And so, yes, do people choose to be murdered, to be killed, to be raped, to be what we call and label as humans victims? I will say to you, yes, it is a choice, and we all play the roles in different lifetimes. We all have been good to each other. We've all been bad to each other. Now, that's if you want to label it, because we do live in a world of duality. However, in the divine eyes of source energy, there is no such thing as good or bad. There is no duality. okay? And it is all just love. We are just all loved. Now, if you grew up in a religious background, you may think, okay, well, what about heaven and hell? I mean, we can just go on and on and on about this. And quite honestly, heaven and hell is right here. You create your own heaven and hell. We are the divine. We are a spark of the divine. We are God, okay? There is no separation from God. There is no separation from source energy. We are those. We create our own reality, as we would call it, reality.
Okay. So I guess the reason why I asked this question is because when I posted the topic on my Facebook page a while back, someone commented and she said, so basically, what I said in the post was that everything that's going on in your life at this very moment, in the past and the future, is because you attracted it into your life. Whether it's good, bad, whatever, but you attracted it. And someone commented and said, so you're telling me that I attracted my parents' illness, I attracted, these coworkers that I can't get along with, or that are doing things inappropriately. You're telling me I attracted that into my life. One guy commented and said, so you're telling me that my ex-wife who stole money from me and cheated on me, you're telling me I created that? So I guess my question to you is, what do you have to say about that specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is very challenging for many people to hear, because we are energy. Energy operates at different vibrational frequencies, and if you're not at a vibrational frequency, a certain vibrational frequency, you are not going to understand. It's not going to make sense. It's not because you're dumb. I'm not saying anybody's dumb or anything like that. They don't understand it. It's just that realization is not there yet. For us, we're not. Some of us are not operating at a certain vibrational frequency energy where we are operating only from the place of love, the heart center, only the place of love, because there's still fear creeping in. And like, again, there's nothing wrong with that. Without fear, we can't understand what love is, and that we are all divine, and that we are all love. So do we attract it into our lives? Well, here's the thing. Again, we're talking about we're all characters here in each other's lives, and people show up into our lives to trigger and push buttons on us, okay, so that we can choose and have a contrast to choose the world of duality that we live in: love, compassion, forgiveness, and I mean there's many more. I mean, happiness and kindness and all those kinds of things as well come into play with that. But yes, absolutely, it is part of the bigger life path that we are here for. That is the bigger overall goal, is the ascension process, where there's only love that exists and fear dissipates.
Okay. Thank you for answering that, sis. So shouts out to my girl Cece. She has a good question. She says, if we ask for a sign, how do we know if the sign is from the light or from the dark? Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. First of all, you can call in and specifically request that the message that you get only comes from 100% pure love and light, and that you ask for protection. I usually ask for protection from Archangel Michael. Some of you that aren't familiar with Archangel Michael, he is an archangel of protection. He's here to guide us and keep us, protect us on our journey. And when you call that in, that is absolutely a universal law and principle, that when you call in only 100% pure love and light above the new paradigm line, that is only what can come in. You can also say, if you are from the dark, if you are not 100% pure love and light, you are not allowed to be here. And then the answers that you get will give you a good feeling. If it doesn't give you a feeling of peace when you're getting the answer, that's where, call in that protection. The answers that come to you should make you feel at least content and peaceful with what is coming to you. If it's you'll know from your gut intuition if it's something scary or dark. That's a very good question.
Yeah, good question. Thanks, Cece. So my next question is, I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago. I was telling him about what you do, and he had so many questions. And one of the questions he asked, which I thought was a very good question, and that is basically, are there spirits around us all the time?
Yes, there are spirits around us all the time. We have spirit guides. We have those that have left their physical bodies, what we call died, that have transitioned into another dimension, and now they are only beings, okay, invisible beings. They're no longer in a physical body. And yes, there are more beings around you than you can even imagine. So yes, they're around us 24/7.
So when people say my gut intuition, my gut told me to do this, or my gut told me to do that, is that really their spirit guide? Like, can you break down in layman's terms for people who aren't very familiar with the spiritual word, spiritual world rather, what that means?
Okay. That is your soul speaking. That is, and you should absolutely listen to that. That is what we call your soul or your higher self. Spirit guides also can be a loved one that has crossed over and left. Spirit guides can be from other dimensions, other beings, okay, of light, and they are here to guide and assist you on your journey. And so when you feel that gut intuition, whether you feel good about it and it's not the right thing to do, what they're trying to do is give you some direction and guide you to protect you from doing something, or guide you towards something, okay, guide you towards a different way, and give you an opportunity to choose what will hopefully be the best thing for you.
Okay.
But that is very important. A lot of people, we all have that gut intuition, that little voice, or that pit in our stomach, however we're feeling something is good or something doesn't feel right. We all have it. And well, here's the thing is, it's how many times have you or me or any of you done things that have gone against your intuition, and then it backfired on you? I mean, and sometimes it backfires, but then it leads you down the right direction of what was, something better coming, a better opportunity to come to you. So maybe it felt like it backfired at first, and it didn't feel like the best thing to do, but you had to do it, and it hurt someone along the way, but that was probably the best thing for you and that person as well. So very important to listen to your gut intuition. And again, we are actors, characters playing on a stage in all of our loved ones' lives, and so very important to listen to that.
Thank you, sis. So can you explain, when you tell somebody you have a soul contract with that person, or your soul contract with that person is up? And the reason I'm asking this question is because when my sister first started talking to me about the spiritual world, she used a lot of terms and I didn't know what they meant. So part of the purpose of this interview is just to break down these words for everybody, so when we talk about it, you'll know what she means. So can you explain soul contract and what exactly that means?
Soul contract is basically our soul's path. It comes from things that we have chosen. Every single thing that we have chosen in our lives, every single experience, every single situation, every single person that we come across, none of it is an accident. Every single thing is divinely orchestrated in our lives, okay, for a purpose. It may not be a grand purpose that's going to be seem so obvious. It could be very, very subtle. It could, you know, and it may not even affect us. It could affect the other person, the situation, whatever it is. Soul contracts are the overall divine orchestration of your whole entire life's path, every single moment of your life.
So that negative coworker that you're not getting along with, they were meant to come into your life, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
That boss that you can't stand,
That's right.
they were meant to be there.
That's exactly right. Every single thing is divinely orchestrated to come to you or that person for a particular reason. There is a divine, invisible, underlying meaning to every single thing that happens. It happens for you or for them.
Okay, so let's take it even smaller than that. Let's say your tire goes flat. You're going to work one morning and all of a sudden you have a flat tire, and this person is just angry now. It's ruined their entire day. What can you tell them about that flat tire?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's okay to be angry. So much in our society tells us we can't feel this emotion. We shouldn't be feeling this way or that way. Feel it. Allow it. Accept it. Bring it in. Embrace it. To be okay with it. And then allow it to transform into a neutral energy, a different energy, a different feeling or emotion. Okay? Every single thing. It is an opportunity for us to learn where we are at all times. And if we can have the awareness and search and go, okay, I understand, I'm really, really angry. This is happening for a reason. I want you to show me what that reason is. Why am I so angry? When you can be aware and acknowledge your emotion and your feeling, you're already in you're already in the awareness state where you are already starting to transform that emotion and bring it through you and allow it through you and let it release. And it's flowing now. When you're in resistance of that emotion, you're going to have a fun time in this lifetime. I've had a lot of those fun times. Okay, of a lot of resistance. I understand. What we want to do is let it flow and let it go through us. Allow it, embrace it. It makes us human and who we are. And she's taking off. But you know what? If you have the flat tire, there's a reason. And then you can start asking, what is the reason? Why is this happening? And it could be a number of reasons. It could be you had the flat tire because, hey, maybe you weren't supposed to go down this road at this exact moment because there was a car accident and then, all this other stuff going on. There's a number of reasons, and Spirit was guiding and orchestrating some things to have you avoid other things. You don't know. And if you're just, all you are is completely focused on what's going on in your situation, okay, that's all right. At some point, though, come into the awareness and ask the meaning behind it. That is where you start transforming. You're able to transform and learn that, there is a divine purpose for everything. There is a meaning behind everything that is going on. So allow it to be.
Same thing when you're sitting in traffic. If you're stuck in buku traffic, now you're in a bad mood. What you're saying, and I just want to make sure everyone understands this, is that is not an accident.
We lost. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure because we lost your.
That's okay.
Okay, we're live. How's she doing out there?
She's good. I'm gonna go get her in a second. Okay. So just answer
Okay,
that question.
So go back to that question because then I got distracted. We lost some of you guys. I don't know if you want to work on getting on that. What was the what?
So
what was
the question was, so if you're stuck in traffic, 'cause that's the one thing that people complain about so much. I see it all the time on social media.
Okay.
Can you give the audience like an example of maybe not so much the spiritual meaning behind it? Well, I guess all there's always a spiritual meaning behind it. But why they might be frustrated?
Well, they're getting to, of course, exercise who they are as living in a human body. I mean, we come here with emotions, and we come here to learn and embrace every single part of us. And like I said, it's okay to be angry and allow that anger to come in. Eventually, what you want to do is release it though and let it transform. Otherwise, there's a lot of people that just keep it within, and then what happens? I mean, you see people walking around all day long just very angry about their lives, and then they let something else come in, and that becomes more and more and more and more and more, and it just snowballs. It just snowballs to the point of where now they're almost self-destructing. And if that happens, hey, that's okay too, because it is all a choice and a decision that we have. You know what? We're kind of losing. I don't know what happened to the other.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I don't know what happened to the other
Excuse me.
channel here, but we were with you, right? Okay, Milani, we can't touch that, sweetheart. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry, we're having a little bit of camera challenges, but that's okay. If you guys can just be patient with us for just a second here, we're gonna come back and get this other camera to work. Hold on a second. Okay. Let's see what happened here. I don't know what happened. Hold on, describe your live video. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Milani's brushing my hair. So nice of her. Thanks, Milani.
So there's, okay.
With the dirty branch she found on the ground. Thanks, Milani.
Okay, so I think we're good. Okay. All right, so sorry to have lost you guys there for a second. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of anger with traffic, and what can you do? You're sitting there, and there's a reason. I used to get very upset about traffic as well, and then I figured, well, what can I do about it? I can't control anything. I can't control, anything outside of me, how people are going to be. I certainly can't control the traffic. So what do I get to choose? I didn't like being angry. I got to choose something else. I got to look at what was going on in my life, and if I was getting angry about traffic, what other things was I getting angry about that I couldn't control? I mean, so I can sit there and just be in peace, and at least that's the opportunity to like decompress, and maybe listen to my favorite music in the car, maybe listen to some meditation, or whatever. I'm not suggesting it, because meditation, can sometimes make you kind of sleepy and zoned out. But what I'm saying is, it's an opportunity for you to be with yourself. And a lot of people don't take the opportunity to decompress and be by themselves, and just be okay with where they're at that exact moment. And a lot of us, that don't have that awareness, well, that's where somebody is on their path. That is just where they are on their path, and that's okay too.
So, what would you suggest to somebody who wants to become more spiritually aware? Like, where do they even begin?
Well, that's a very open, vague question, because spiritual awareness, it is something that you have to want. It is something that you have to start going into and asking the better questions, like I talked about. Like saying, you know, if you're in an angry state, at some point, if you don't want to be angry, maybe you should ask yourself, okay, why am I so angry about this?
Okay.
Why am I so angry about this? What triggers me? What's going on that's triggering me right now? And what's the meaning behind this? Why is this going on right now? I want to see the meaning behind this. I would like you to reveal the deeper meaning behind this. When you start asking those questions, you will start getting answers when you pay attention. Just keep asking better questions each time. And ask them, though, I would suggest that when you do ask them to bring you the answers in a smooth, easy, comfortable way. Because you might get the answer and it might be a little challenging how the answer comes. So ask for it to be easy, smooth, and comfortable when they deliver the answer to you. Okay? But when you ask those questions, that in itself is the catalyst for the awareness, the awakening, for the change that you're seeking, that your soul's urging is wanting to get you to the next part, the next phase of your path.
Okay, so can you give us what your definition of spirituality is?
My definition, we're all spiritual. Spirituality is not a religion. It's not a philosophy. It's nothing necessarily that we want to put into words. Spirituality is not a belief. We are all spiritual because we are all spiritual beings. We are all souls, invisible, divine beings. We are spirits. Okay? And so, being a spirit, there's no such thing as, oh, this person's more spiritual than I am. Oh, I think in general people might refer to that mainly because the person may have some kind of awareness. This doesn't make that person better than another person, doesn't make any of us better than the other. We are all spirits, we are all spiritual. It is probably in human terms the degree of awareness, and it's not one to judge another. We are all on a path at different parts of our path. So spirituality, that hopefully answers the question. That doesn't mean that it's not some kind of a religion. It's not some kind of a belief.
So, okay, I'm glad you brought up judgment. So, why are human beings so judgmental? Where does this come from?
It is part of the soul contract. It is okay to be judgmental. It is part of our ego that we have to embrace. And you know what? That phone's gonna jump off in just a minute. So we need to be aware of the battery on that one. It is a part of us that decided, you know what? When I enter this physical body, I think I'm gonna act like I'm lost for a little bit, just for shits and giggles, because maybe, you know, it's time for me to get some more under my belt on experiences and lessons, and I've been hanging out here in the stars in this invisible world for a little while, and maybe I want to, you know, live in this dimension for a little bit while I'm living in these other dimensions, these other universes and other galaxies at the same time. And so maybe I'd like to be over here for a little bit and enjoy some of this. And while I'm enjoying some of this, let me act like I'm a little bit lost. I'll live in a world of duality where there is judgment. And that way, all I'm doing is looking for my way back home. My way back home to who I am as a divine, underlying, invisible soul, knowing that I am one with source energy. And I'll just live in this world of duality for a little bit and judge, and it'll be a little game for me. So that's, you know, we've created an amazing game for ourselves of hide and go seek. Hide in this body, in this what we call reality, and go seek who we truly are and who we are as authentic soul beings.
Okay. So this is my last question, because I know the battery on your phone.
Which we're just going to charge, and we'll get that taken care of. But,
oh, okay.
And then see what other questions everybody else has.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, please start putting them in the comments so I can ask my sister. So my question is, if someone wants to get a reading from you, what happens to you? Like, how do you know how to give them the answers? You know what I mean? Like, how does it work for you?
It's a knowing. It's called. It's something called clear cognizance. Maybe many of you have heard clairvoyant. The word clairvoyant. Oh, she's clairvoyant. Okay, that we all have clairs. Okay, there's six of them that are known to us, and there's many more that we don't talk about mainly. But the four main ones are clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentient, clairaudient, and then there's taste and smell. And so these four clairs, we all, it's all that gut intuition all combined in one. And so to answer the question on when I give a reading in a session, or if I'm assisting someone on spiritual guidance mentorship, or releasing with them with some releasing vows and other lifetimes, I go into a meditative state. Prior to the session, I call in divine protection. I connect with my higher self and the higher self of the person that I'm doing the session for. I call in the divine highest beings of light. I call in the spirit guides. I call in only 100% pure love and light. And what comes through me is a pure channeling of what is being seen at that exact moment. That's what the energies that are coming in. And they won't always reveal the answers, because the answers that are given are only there specifically for guidance. There is no, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. That doesn't happen in the sessions with me. And so they are there to guide, and what is for the divine highest and best interest of the person in the session. And that's purely what it is. Me, I'm in a meditative state. The knowledge just comes through me. It comes out faster. I'm not thinking anything. I'm listening to the question, and then they're just spitting out the answers. So there's no thought, there's no filters from my side, there's no ego involved, very minimal ego. Only the ego is for me to basically be breathing and living in a human body and giving you guys the answers. That's part of ego. But as far as anything else, basically I'm in a channeling meditative state. It's almost like I'm a third party listening to a two-party conversation. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to get the charger for that phone before it...
That's fine. Hi everybody. Let me shout out some people. Hey Gail, I see your question. I'm going to comment on it in a little bit. Let me see who's all tuned in here. Hey Eric, Shouts out to Eric Williams. Thanks for commenting. Hi Tara, I see your question. I'm going to ask that to my sister when she comes back. That's a very good question. Let me see who else is on here. Shouts out to Kendrick Simmons. Hey Kendrick, I see your question. If anybody else has any questions, now is the time to ask. Here, give it to me. I'm plugging in her phone so it can charge. Hi. Okay.
I don't know if...
Let's see here.
Let's try this. Will it stay?
Let me
Let me get around it though.
Okay.
Right, it's knocked over.
We're just trying to adjust the cameras here.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's too low.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it just needs to be tilted a little.
There we go. Hi.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you go through some of the questions? Or did you have more? Were we done with your questions?
I lost track of what I was about to ask you.
Oh, okay.
I'll come back to it if I think of it.
Okay.
Too many drugs back in the 60s. Killed my brain cells.
Because you were born in the 60s.
If you believe that I was born in the 60s, we are not friends.
It's okay, then you look really damn good for being in your 60s, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. No disrespect. You're right. That was a terrible comment. Lord, please forgive me. Shouts out to Tara. And I think this is a good question for people in general. How do you get in touch with yourself so you don't feel lost all the time?
Oh, see that you're Tara. Good question. Again, someone acting like they're lost. Believe me, you're not lost. Every part of your path, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're on the exact right path. And if you think you're lost, you're just basically you're playing a very big game with yourself, and you just don't know it. That's what it comes down to. You're just playing a very big game with yourself of hide and go seek. How do I know what my meaning of being here is? Well, your meaning of being here is you are here to eventually ascend to where you are aligning and finding yourself back home and aligned with source energy, which means that you have learned the experiences that you have come here to have, which could be forgiveness, compassion, kindness, all these things that lead you back to love, and that is the aligning with source energy. That's what the meaning of being here is finding yourself, finding your way back home.
Tara, I liked your question because it reminded me of what my question was, because I forgot a second ago.
Okay.
I remember the question now.
Okay.
How do you know what your soul mission is?
Your soul's mission.
Okay,
this is the same thing.
Same thing, okay.
Same.
But can I give a couple examples?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Michael Jordan, he became the greatest in basketball, okay? There's a CEO out there somewhere running a company. There's someone who's just working a desk job 9 to 5. There's some entrepreneur, someone working from home, a stay-at-home mom, and they're all sitting around wondering, what am I doing with my life?
Your soul's mission ultimately is to follow your gut intuition and do exactly what you love. And along the way of doing what you love, and when you do what you love, by the way, you are aligning with your soul's mission. You're aligning with source energy, okay? Everybody has a different one. My work happens to be communicating with the other side and bringing that communication of knowledge and wisdom and understanding and love and compassion through me in the way of my experiences and inspiring others, and through my experiences sharing that knowledge with others. Okay, and I went through very, very difficult and challenging experiences, just like all of you have, to learn about forgiveness, to learn about compassion, to share this kind of knowledge after my experiences with others. And so mine happens to be as a channel and a conduit of source and light, and we all channel. We are all channels of source and light, but we do it very differently, and it comes through doing what we love. When you talked about Michael Jordan, he channeled a way of being known as one of the greatest basketball players known of all time, and he inspired so many young men and women, not only them, but older folks too, I mean of all ages, to follow your dreams, to inspire to do what you love. He was a channel. So we all channel when we love doing what we do, and we can inspire others, and we share our knowledge and our wisdom. That is our soul's mission. That is our soul's mission. But for a long time, we can act like we don't know what our soul's mission is. We can act like we're lost and just hanging out there, not knowing what's going on. And that's because sometimes it's not supposed to come to you until you've had stepping stones and a certain amount of experience and other things that happen for you in your life before you can get to that place. And sometimes your soul mission isn't even inspiring other people to do anything. Your soul's mission could just be you came here to have fun, and all you came here was to be on drugs and alcohol and party. And you wanted that experience here in this lifetime, and that's all you wanted to do. And you loved being in your humanness, and that's all you wanted to do. And that was your soul's mission, and you love it. And you love doing it, and that's why you're here. So absolutely, we all have a different soul mission that we come here for. And maybe it's not even inspiring anyone. You don't even have to inspire anybody. Okay? So I take that back even. Okay? If you are happy and in love with doing it, then go do it. Go do it.
So the most common question that people ask is, for example, most people don't like their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever they love doing, they don't know how to monetize it. So they think, I can't leave my job ever,
Mm-hmm.
because how can I make money talking about flowers all day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say this, I'm just using this as an example. Someone is obsessed with flowers. They love the smell of flowers, the color of flowers, but they have no clue in their mind how to monetize it.
And find how to make money.
How to make money doing it. Talking about
monetize.
flowers, right. Because you said, when you...
And
do what
that
you
may,
love.
hey, it may not come to you to make money from it. Not everything has to do with the money, okay? It may be simply because you love talking about flowers, you start a blog, you plant flowers, and it just brings you joy. Not everybody has to share everything with the whole world, okay? Maybe this is just for you. Maybe that's what you came into this lifetime for, and if it's meant to be, you can sit there, and the universe, I promise you, will bring it to you, will bring you the opportunity, and you will feel it in your gut intuition, and you will grab the opportunity when it is time. And that, if it's supposed to happen, is how you will, create some kind of financial income from it. But not everything is meant for that. It could just be meant for your own pleasure, and that's all it is. That's all it is.
So can we use your story as an example? how, because of course this is my sister, so I know, you know, pretty much everything she's gone through, different careers, different changes in her career. She's always been an entrepreneur, but I didn't know that she always had this gift. So when you realized that you had the gift to be able to channel spirits, you can see them, you can talk to them, you can give readings to people through them. How did you know? And I'm not quite sure how to ask this question. How did you know in your mind that that's what you wanted to pursue and that you were finally on your right path?
Okay. It didn't start out where I knew exactly that path. It was being unfolded and revealed to me gradually. Now, it's like a fish living in water. Doesn't know it lives in water. That's the way it was for me. I always had knowledge that came through me. I didn't know where it was. I knew what was going on with this person or that person. I just knew. I could feel people's energies, and if somebody talked and mentioned somebody's name, I knew a lot about that person, what they looked like, their personality, what they were going through, and I didn't know how I knew some of this information. So it goes back to that, like that fish living in water. And now my background is business on the internet, and created a wonderful, blessed, successful, multi-million-dollar business online with my ex-husband. And while we were creating an incredible amount of wealth and prosperity, homes, cars, land, money in the bank, vacations, I mean, it was a wonderful blessing, and it felt empty. Okay? It's everything that we all think that we want, but at the end of the day, after several years of doing it, I felt completely empty. Here we were, multimillionaires, and then here I was feeling empty. And of course he was like, well, are you crazy? You know how many women would kill to be in your position? I said, something doesn't feel right. I just couldn't imagine. What else? Another home? Great, fine, lovely, what a blessing. Something doesn't feel right for me. So that it wasn't fulfilling for me. And so what happened was I started feeling like I just wanted more and more quiet, and I didn't want to do the business anymore. I wanted to just completely, and we were speakers, we trained thousands of people, well known in our industry, and we spoke on stage, and I just wanted quiet. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to speak on stage anymore. I didn't want to do any training. I was basically shutting down from all of it, and I wanted just quiet, and I was going into just wanting just to be by myself and meditating, and it was troublesome because I almost felt like I was in a cocoon and shutting my family and my boys, my ex-husband, you know, I was shutting everybody out. I couldn't go to restaurants. I was so sensitive to the energy and the energetic vibration and the frequency. It drained me. And one day I started realizing and noticing the voices were getting louder. Go Google hypnotherapy. And when I would ignore it, they would just continue to bring in more and more signs to me, you know, whether I was seeing it in a vision, whether I was seeing it, hearing it even louder. And it was just, I would wake up with the voice saying, Google hypnotherapy. And so I did, and it just kind of took me down this path. The hypnotherapist, and I had no interest in hypnotherapy, but the hypnotherapist shared an office with someone that did spiritual energy work, and then I was led to shamans and mediums and seers, and I grew up being in this world, and I believe that our mom knew that I had been told probably when she was pregnant with me that I had the gift as well. And so she took me to mediums and psychics more than my other siblings. And I think that she was probably just told, just bring her around just to see what happens. And I was always very, very fascinated with those that could communicate with the other side. I got the reading, and then I'd be like, well, I want to know about you. How are you communicating with the other side? Who are you talking to? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? How did you know? You know, I was so fascinated about their background. And so fast forward, when I was feeling a very unfulfilled path in business, and I started saying, surely there's more to this story. Surely I'm not just here to gain this material wealth. There's something more here that I'm supposed to share and inspire with others. What else is there? And so I started asking the questions. I started asking for the meaning. And so they led me down a very interesting path, like I said, where now all my mentors were seers. And they were explaining to me as well, and it totally made sense at that point. It resonated with me on a very deep cellular soul level that I had done this work in many other lifetimes, and I was coming back here in this lifetime once again to do this work. But there had to be stepping stones in business and relationships and all, you know, all these other experiences in order for me to get to a place of being unfulfilled. Now, I felt blessed, but it wasn't completely fulfilling, and there's a big difference. So I started realizing and wanting, and I was so hungry for the knowledge. I was so hungry for the knowledge of how to protect my energies, how to communicate better with the other side. And so it was years. It's been several years now that I've been doing this work. However, it is something I wake up and love. I love assisting people. I love being able to assist people throughout the day. I wake up and I ask Spirit, who do you want me to connect with? Where do you want me to be? What do you want me to be, do, and have that serves for the divine highest good of everyone today? What can I do to bring more light onto the planet? And at the same time take care of myself and my loved ones and my soul group, and making sure that I have self-care time as well, and there's an equal exchange of energy, and it serves for the divine highest good of everyone. And I absolutely love my work. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. When you wake up and you are so hungry to fulfill and serve and do something that is bigger than yourself, you realize that something feels good, something feels right. Is it perfect every day? No, it's not perfect. I'm challenged by some of the messages that I give people. I'm very, very challenged because I receive information that is challenging to communicate to other people. But I ask them, please have me deliver it in a very gentle, kind, loving way, with wisdom, understanding, knowledge, grace, soft and gentle with tact, yet strong and effective. I ask so that it is delivered only with love and light, and that's how it gets me through things.
I love that. Thank you, sis.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about the story when I was in Atlanta, and we had already decided that I was going to move back to Denver before I transitioned to Los Angeles. And I came out in the living room, and you were sitting there, and I was talking to you, just conversing with you about what am I going to do when I get to Denver, because it's been so long since I've had a break from not having to work a job in corporate America, and I'm going to have all this time, and I want to make sure I use this time. That's, you know, I'm going to make the most of this time, because I had an opportunity once before where I had a lot of downtime, and I thought that I did not make the most of that time. I spent a lot of time on social media. That's when I first discovered Facebook, and I sat on social media eight hours a day. So I told my sister this, and I was like, so when I move to Denver, I want to make sure that I make the most of my time. Should I go to real estate school? You know, should I get my real estate license? Now's the best time for me, because I can focus on school and really study and hammer it out. You want to tell them what your response was?
I asked specifically because I already knew what the answer was, but I wanted her to have the realization of what the answer was, and I asked specifically, what is your main goal in going to real estate school? What do you... And she had said, well, money. And so I said, okay, I understand money is a byproduct. It is a physical manifestation, physical, tangible evidence of what could be the outcome of this income, financial gain. I said to her, do you love real estate? Is that why you're doing it? What was your answer?
My answer was no. If I were to do real estate, well, this is what I said. I said I love beautiful homes, but would I love doing real estate? No, I would strictly be doing it for financial purposes. So then, I don't know if you remember what your next question was. You want me to tell him?
Yeah, because...
So the next thing she asked me was, because she's done so many readings for me, so she probably doesn't remember. I'm bothering her like 24/7. Her next comment was, well, what is it that you do love to do? So the reason I'm bringing this story up is because I want you guys to ask yourselves, what is it that you love to do? Because when she asked me that question, I had to sit there and think about it. And when I thought about it, I answered her question. And as I was talking about what I love to do, she pointed something out to me that I didn't even realize. We had an incoming call, sorry. What happened was I was getting very passionate and energized, and I was talking about it like it was the best shit ever.
Let me go. You talk.
So after I started telling her she goes, do you realize what just happened? And I said, no, what just happened? She said, as you were giving me your answer, you got very passionate. You were very energized. That's how I know that's what you're supposed to do, because the way you were talking about it. So if you're not sure what it is you're supposed to be doing, I promise you the answer, first of all, you need to figure out what it is that you love to do. So ask yourself, what is it that I love to do? It doesn't matter. Don't even, she said, I forgot to mention this part. She said, if you took money out of the equation, forget the money, forget the finances, what is it that you love to do? So when I answered the question, and when you answer that question, then you'll know that you're onto something. And when you focus on that, the universe will just start bringing it to you. That's exactly what happened. Because sis, this is a very important part that I want you guys to listen to. She's back now. She had to go calm Milani down. When I was telling her what it is that I'm passionate about, which is digital marketing, for those of you who I have not announced this to, I'm very passionate about digital marketing. I found that I have this gift of consulting with people and telling them how to market their business. I don't know where it comes from, but I can just look at what they're doing on social media, whatever their platform is, and be able to tell them what they can do to make it better, or what they should try, etc., etc. Now it's up to them if they want to do it. But after I told her all this, do you remember what you told me next?
I came in another part of the conversation.
Oh, okay,
so
sorry.
Go ahead.
So she tells me, she was like, huh, that's interesting. She said, well, you know, the other couple weeks ago I was at a restaurant and there was this catalog. There was a catalog.
Oh, okay. So we have a catalog that is available here in Colorado, and it's Colorado Free University. And I grabbed the catalog. Spirit guided me to grab it out of one of those newspaper boxes, and I was like, okay, maybe this is for me. Maybe you guys want me to look at some classes in here. I don't know. I'll just grab it and listen to what you tell me. I had no idea what it was. And then I came home and I was looking through the catalog, and I thought to myself, okay, well, guys, show me. What do you want me to take? Is there a class here that you want? Keep looking, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing there that interests me. And I just think, okay, well, maybe it's for someone else. I don't know. I'll just leave it on the table. You guys, the answer will reveal itself here. And of course, who was it for?
So she tells me about the catalog, okay? And she just says, maybe when we get back to Denver, you can go through it and see if there's anything that interests you, etc. So I'm like, okay, cool, we can do that. So we get back to Denver, I see the catalog, I pick it up, and you're not gonna believe this shit. You ready for some more craziness? When I started going through the pages, I landed a section that had a lot of courses on, guess what? Digital marketing. Digital marketing galore. And as I started reading through the courses and what they offer, I'm telling you, my juices started flowing. My energy was just shot up the roof. I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want to do. Here it is. This is why she got the catalog. It was for me.
Yeah, it was for you.
It was for me, but neither one of us knew at the time. So I took some classes, and it gave me even more knowledge. So now my knowledge on this whole digital marketing thing is just, you know, like I'm totally amazed by it. So I told you this whole long drawn out story to say, when you figure it out, what it is that you love to do, and put it out there, like I was discussing it with my sister, the universe will start bringing it to you. I made a video not too long ago about dream killers, and I was saying, I read a post somewhere and someone said that they stopped sharing their dreams with people and what they desire because someone would always put it down or discourage them. And you know, you're not meant to share your dreams with everybody. You're not meant to share your passions with everybody. So I made this video and I said, don't stop talking about your passions, because when you stop talking about it, that's when you stop putting it out to the universe. And to me, I feel like when I started talking about it, it opened up the universe, the flow to come to me. And the only way it came to me was when I started talking about it.
So you actually made a declaration and
You
said it
have
out
to
loud.
make a declaration. You have to say it out loud. That's fine. If you don't want to say it on social media, say it to yourself. Say it to someone you trust. Say it wherever you're comfortable, but whatever you do, don't stop talking about it. So, and every day, that's why I come on social media, because I'm very passionate about what I do. I want to share the knowledge, and my sister is like, I've watched her and just how she's changed from the time we were kids to different relationships, to different careers, and she's a completely different person. She's like done a 180. I mean, she's still the same person, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's like she's now living what she loves to do, and when I say she's a different person, she's at peace now. I see a peace in her that I never saw before. And when she was married and I would come home and visit, I felt it. I felt an unhappiness in her. And it, you know, I just knew in my heart that she was not living what she truly wanted to, and I didn't know what it was though. I didn't know that this is what it was going to be. And so it makes me so happy that now we are here where we are, and she loves what she does. She's so passionate. She's at peace. And I can see it in her face. She's glowing when she talks about it. Everywhere she goes, her energy with people, her interactions are completely different. You want to know why? Because she's doing what she loves. And I'm doing what I love too. And my path is about to take off as well. But I wanted to get on here and do this interview because there are so many people out there in the world that are discouraged and they're lost. And like she said, that's your path, you have to follow. But if you're tuning in right now, you were meant to tune in because maybe you needed some more inspiration. I don't know.
Your higher self led you here for a reason. Don't ever just brush that off. Everything is meant for a reason. There's a reason why you came here, for whatever little bit of knowledge. Maybe you're not getting anything out of this, and maybe it won't even make sense to you until years down the road, maybe not even in this lifetime, but you're picking up what you're supposed to at this exact moment for a reason. And there's a soul urging to get you to another part of your life, and whatever it is here, you may not even consciously be aware of it, but the energy that comes through us to you and what you guys bring back to us, it's a shared love, a shared light, and it may be so subtle you may not even be aware that it's affecting you on some energetic level. So
I just want to say a quick shout out to my girl Gail Newton. Hi Gail. Gail, just for everybody who knows, when I lived in Atlanta, she was one of Milani's teachers at Milani's daycare. And her spirit, like Gail and I really connected. She has such a sweet spirit. And so one of her questions earlier was about her job and how much longer should she stay there. And she just commented and she said, thanks, I got my answers. It's for the children, why I'm there. She said she would like some more money. And Gail, I'm just going to use my own story as an example because I'm not sure what your path is. That's something that maybe you and my sister can arrange later if you want to have a reading with her. So I'm just going to use my own story. A couple weeks ago, I did a temp job because right now I'm just doing temp work while I take these classes and pursue my passion and do everything I want to do. And when I went to the temp job, it was temping doing the work that I used to do when I was in corporate America. And when I went, I was dreading it because I just don't want to do it anymore. But I still need to eat. So by the time it was over, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was like, oh my God, my day's finally over. Thank you, Jesus. You know, God, please, I can't do this anymore. You know, can I finally just get to where I want to be and what I want to do? And my sister said something to me that was so profound. And from that moment on, I stopped complaining. She said, maybe you were sent there because you needed to bring light to that place. They needed your energy. It wasn't so, you know, it was for you to get out of the house, to get out of being in mommy mode all the time, but you were also supposed to share that energy and your light with them. And when she said that, I was like, it took my breath away because I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. I'm making this all about me and I'm being so selfish right now, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be selfish, don't get me wrong, but it just made me audit myself. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes our purpose in life is not to go and make money. Maybe it's to spread like somewhere else.
Share our light. Yeah. Yeah. And share who we are as beings, you know, our own knowledge and our experiences. We don't know why it is sometimes, and sometimes it's not until we get there and go through that experience, and then we can go back and connect the dots on what we were there to serve, how we were there to serve, and how it will serve us as well, because there is an equal exchange of energy. There is an equal exchange of energy.
Okay, so speaking of energy, this leads me to my next question.
Okay.
We did a video, or rather it was a video of you doing an energy clearing on the house.
Yes.
Okay, the old me used to think this shit was crazy when people would do energy clearings and come in and burn, what is it?
Burn sage.
Burn sage. I was like, what? This is nuts. Like, what is that really going to do? You know, you're just making the house smell funny. So I want you to, but I get it now, but I want you to speak on it. As far as what does it do when you do an energy clearing, you know, not just for our home or wherever you go, but also, can you do it for other people? Can you do it for other people?
Oh, I can do it. I actually do remote energy house clearings as well. I don't need to be present. I've done it for many others. And what does it do? We leave energy. We pick up energy wherever we go. Planets. We go into public places. We go into workspaces. We are around family and friends. And if they're carrying, you know, some energies that can feel heavy and just of a different frequency, sometimes it can attach to us. And I'm very conscientious of clearing because of the work that I do, and I'm very conscientious of clearing our home. I don't just do it for our home, I do it for entire cities, I do it for the entire planet as well. So I'm calling in light and healing and transformation for the entire planet as well. And so, but you know, if I can feel, you know, if I've been someplace and I feel drained and tired and you know, cranky, irritable, I can feel that I've picked up energy from somewhere else. And sometimes some of it is mine. I take responsibility for it. And a lot of it is coming from somewhere else as well. And so I want to make sure that I'm always transforming that energy, sending it up to the heavens, sending it up to the cosmos for complete healing and transmutation, and turning it into golden white light in a higher vibrational frequency energy, and then bringing that back down onto the planet, and to share that again to affect positive healings for all creation on the planet. So for me, in the work that I do, spiritual energy work, the channeling, giving messages, I don't call myself a healer. We are all healers. I guide in a system in a healing process. I don't claim myself to be a healer, because I believe that we are already all evolved divine soul beings, and we have the capability and the knowledge to heal ourselves. So I assist and guide with that process as well, and I allow myself to be a conduit to bring energy through and assist someone in their own healing process. And so that's why I do it. Like I said, I really understand that what I'm here to do is just assist in sharing light. I mean, that's what it is. We all are, and we just all do it in a different way.
Well, I know our kids they've been asking for us for the last, I don't even know how long we've been on here. It's been so great talking to you guys that we haven't wanted to get off. So what projects do you have coming up that people can look forward to?
Well, first of all, if you guys want to know more about me, you can go to myspiritualenergy.com. You can see videos, interviews there, as well as learn about me and my work, who I am, who I work with from the other side. I do intuitive light readings. I do releasing vows from other lifetimes. We make vows all the time in this lifetime. We are multi-dimensional beings. We're making vows in other lifetimes, past lives, future lives, parallel lives. It's all going on. And we're making vows, whether that's poverty vows, that can create abundance, prosperity, wealth, obstacles, and challenges in this lifetime. It's affecting this lifetime, as well as relationship vows, being married and divorced, or saying to somebody, oh, I will love you forever, and that applies to another lifetime, but it doesn't apply to this lifetime anymore. So it kind of separates you from other, it can separate you and cause obstacles or challenges in relationship situations, as well as releasing belief patterns. If we were monks or nuns or had religious backgrounds and we made commitments in those, and we carry them in cellular memories and soul memories in this one as well. And we want to look at releasing some of those, that creates abundance, blocks and obstacles and challenges in our life in this lifetime. And it's just suffering, belief patterns, obedience, silence. Many lifetimes we've had something where we have been silenced because of our work, and tortured and things like that. So I assist with releasing many different types of vows, and so you can see that. And then if you're just looking for deeper meaning in why something occurred in your life, I do a lot of spiritual guidance and mentorship with a lot of people to just look at a different way of looking at things, looking at the underlying meaning of why something came into our lives. So I assist with that. If traditional counseling or things have occurred and that just doesn't sound like the right way for you to go, and you're looking, there's something else out there that makes more sense to you, I can assist you with that as well. So you can go to my website at sophia-rashkin.com, and then I run younger adult meditation metaphysics groups in Southern California, Encinitas, Carlsbad, San Diego, as well as LA, San Francisco, New York City, Denver. And so if you are looking to come to one of our live events in some of those cities, contact me and I'll put you to the exact meetup group to join, to assist you with that as well. And you know what? I'm working on another couple of series, working on yourself within a relationship. When you're in a relationship, it can be a little bit more challenging to work on yourself because there's just a lot of other dynamics to consider with the other parties that are involved in your life. And then I also have another series that I'm working on as well, called connecting with the cosmic conscious child mislabeled ADD, ADHD, and autism. They just communicate a whole lot different, but yet in our society, everybody wants them to conform, but actually they're the crop of children, generations now that have been mislabeled ADD, ADHD, and autistic that actually communicate with the cosmos and receive information, and they communicate in a very, very different way. And it's not necessarily through verbal communication. It's a lot of other energetic transmissions that they bring through. And so I'm working on that series as well. And so anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Again, it's myspiritualenergy.com, and gosh guys, thank you so much for the opportunity for us to share with you this evening and joining us. you know what, was there anything else? Did you see anything here that you wanted to address with anyone before we hang up?
I don't think so.
Okay, and there was a question on here from, I think it was Eric. How often do we do these classes? And
Oh, yes,
actually,
Eric.
gosh, you know, we just kind of do them on a whim whenever we get some spiritual guidance. And we just kind of go, okay, let's do it right now. And she's like, well, you want to know the questions? Nope, I don't want to know the questions. I don't want to know anything about it. It's better that we just completely do it off the cuff. So,
We follow our gut intuition.
that's right. We follow guidance and gut intuition. So anyway, love you guys. Much love and many blessings to all of you. Thank you for your time this evening, and we'll see you next time. More questions.